paranormal enthusiast James
Okay.
James White has a very spooky business. He professionally arranges and hosts seances in allegedly haunted and abandoned buildings in Toronto, Canada. James is hosting a seance at the historic Lambton House with a group of curious participants. The Lambton House is a former inn that was built in 1860, and it is said to be extremely haunted. Now, James White and his group are about to witness something absolutely terrifying.
So Norman, someone in this room is trying to harm you? Is it a person? So give me a sign. Someone in this room is trying to harm you. Are they in this room? So give me a sign. Is it a male? They hold it back. His chair to backward. Why did you chair to back? It's not moving. Something just pulled. Yeah. Keep your hands together. Keep your hands together. We grabbed him as soon as he fell back. Do not break. Okay, really? It did break when he fell though, because he went that far back. Okay, so did somebody actually pull your chair? Yeah, like he fell back. Somebody pulled your chair. Yes.
While in the middle of a seance, one participant is forcefully yanked backwards out of his chair by an unseen force.
Is it a male?
The door behind me was open, and I had my partner sitting beside me, and we had the door was open behind us, and we thought we heard something back there, but nothing was there, so we turned, and I looked, and I saw nothing, so I turned my head back towards the group, like the circle, and we're all holding hands, and then all of a sudden I just felt like this force just come and pull me back, and it was like aggressive. It wasn't like calm, it was aggressive, like it was trying to kill me or something. I don't even know. My feet were like flat on the ground. I wasn't moving. I was holding hands with the people beside me, and it just pulled me. And it like felt like someone was coming up behind me, like standing up behind me as I'm sitting in the chair, and like taking my shoulders and like pulling me towards the mirror. It was crazy.
Fellow participants and eyewitnesses from the seance took to Instagram to share their stories about the incident. One seance witness had this to say about the strange event. I sat across from him when this happened, and it was fantastic to see.
Yeah, make sure audio is coming through. One last time, check in. Check in one more time. Check in one more time. Okay, there you go. Okay, there you go.
Another witness says, I was there. Another epic seance with @JamesWhite Seance. So did James White capture evidence of an unknown entity aggressively grabbing an innocent visitor at the Lambton house? I leave it up to you to decide.
Is it a male?
Scream. YouTube channel D's Dark Adventures says that an anonymous fan emailed her about a very creepy experience he had while driving home late one night. The dashcam video shows the man driving down an isolated country road in the middle of nowhere. Suddenly, he spots something that makes his blood run cold.
Excuse me, you need help? What the?
The driver suddenly spots a woman walking all by herself in the middle of the night. As he gets closer, he is horrified when he sees that the woman is covered in blood. Worried for her safety, he rolls down his window and asks her if she needs help.
Excuse me, you need help?
After which, she lets out a blood-curdling scream.
What the?
At this point, the man notices that the woman appears to have no eyes, only black sockets. Terrified by her reaction and appearance, the driver quickly just gets out of there. He says that he called the police, but they never found this mysterious woman. So just what do you think is going on here? And what would you do in this same situation?
What the?
The Woman in White. Duke's Top 5 viewer and paranormal investigator Mark Reyes emailed me about a video that he captured with his family while on a ghost hunt at the Evangelical Spiritual Church in Cicero, Illinois. The church was once used as a funeral home and is said to be extremely haunted. It's the middle of the night and Rick and his family are investigating the church when suddenly their EMF meter detects something that they can't see. What happens next is truly chilling.
Are you afraid? That room over there is scary. Have you seen it? This one. Come here. This one. This one. This is a private office.
So you can't go in there.
No, I'm saying that it's open because we could.
So you can't go in there. So you can't go in there.
Did you see it? A woman who seems to be wearing a white gown can be seen standing behind the family on the far side of the church. Ricky says that his daughter felt a presence as she looked back, but that none of them actually saw the mysterious woman at the time. It wasn't until they returned home that they discovered what they had captured. So could this eerie figure possibly be the spirit of one of the people who passed through the funeral home? Let me know what you think. We need scary videos, so if you see something that you think would be perfect for the top 5, send it to us at nukestop5@gmail.com. The Burial Mounds. Paranormal investigator Ian from the YouTube channel Midwest Ghost Hunter is back with another investigation, this time at the mysterious Native American burial mounds at the Crow Wing River in Minnesota. Many people claim to have experienced terrifying paranormal activity at the burial mounds. Some have heard the strange sound of phantom drums and disembodied voices, and some visitors even claim that they have seen glowing apparitions at the site. Curious about the claims, Ian decides to do an overnight investigation in the hopes of capturing paranormal evidence. Things quickly take a very creepy turn as Ian searches for one of the burial mounds.
Man, walking through these woods, I feel like anything could just pop out at me right now. Like, from anywhere. Bears, Bigfoot, ghosts, anything. Okay. I don't know if I'm going crazy. I thought I heard something behind me. Hello? Who's over there?
If somebody's out
I
there,
don't know, maybe
with
I'm
you,
just
they-
paranoid. I thought I heard something, but I'm not sure. Oh, holy shit. Okay. All right. Okay, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm not going crazy. I don't know. I don't know if I should try this, but I'm gonna try walking backwards because I want to see what's coming up behind me. Honestly, I don't even like walking backwards because I don't know what's ahead of me.
It's that easy.
Is there somebody out here with me? Oh my god! Holy shit! That scared me so bad.
That
was a straight up voice from thin air. It was as if somebody was standing like right there. Hello?
Ian hears footsteps following him. Then he hears a loud, indiscernible voice. He's now a little freaked out, but he continues his search until he finally finds one of the Native American burial mounds. What happens next is truly disturbing.
All right, here's mound number 2. I'm actually not going to say anything this time. I'm actually just going to listen.
Dude, like, I would.
Oh my god, I'm hearing all kinds of things over here. It sounds like voices, but they're so faint.
Which is why you should be steady, like get steady.
A female voice can be heard speaking almost as if someone at the burial mound is having a long, involved conversation. But it's something else that really spooks Ian as he explores the Crow Wing River's edge. Something truly terrifying.
Even though there's not much going on right now, it's a lot of fun just being out here. Out in the wilderness. Even though it's dark, I can barely see 10 feet ahead of me. Holy shit. Just when I said it was fun being out here. Pretty sure there was a goose back there splashing in the water.
Of all things, Ian's biggest scare so far comes from the sudden sound of a honking goose.
Holy shit.
Eventually, Ian finds another burial mound. Now, Ian knows that he might not be able to communicate in English with the spirits of the Native Americans buried there. So, he decides to just listen. What happens next is truly bizarre.
They start talking. It sounds like a male voice. Could you speak again? Oh my god! Dude, that was a face! I just seen a face! That was a glowing face!
What? What did I miss? Oh. Nah, that seems fake.
Oh my
I'ma keep it
god,
up
I
with you.
cannot
That's so
believe
fake.
that! Dude, his face just appeared right there! Right there! Oh my god, that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen! It's one thing to see a light, a mist, even a shadow, but a face? A face! It looked like a man, too. It looked like a Native American man.
Ian hears another low voice speaking from somewhere nearby. A pale face then quickly appears and disappears from right out of the darkness. Ian is shocked by what he has captured and deems his paranormal investigation a huge success. So did Ian capture the voices and face of lingering Native American spirits buried at the Crow Wing River? Let me know what you think. You can watch this entire investigation and many more spooky adventures over on the YouTube channel, Midwest Ghost Hunter, the San Haven Sanatorium. Nuke's Top 5 viewer Ricky and his sister Vicky set out to explore the old abandoned San Haven Sanatorium near Dunseith, North Dakota. The sanatorium was built in 1912 as a treatment center for patients suffering from tuberculosis. Many of these patients did not survive. They passed away inside the walls of the San Haven Sanatorium. In the 1960s, the hospital became a treatment center for the mentally impaired. However, it was eventually closed in 1987 after many reports of patient mistreatment and neglect. The San Haven Sanatorium is now known as a paranormal hotspot, and to this day, those with an interest in the supernatural travel to the hospital to explore, hoping to experience paranormal activity. So, Ricky and his sister are carefully exploring the creepy old decaying building. They experience something downright creepy.
No, I bet it's a morgue. Oh, come on, let me have that.
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, it's creepy.
Yeah, this building's getting pretty bad.
This looks like it's about to go bad. Why y'all in there?
Is that you? Oh. That wasn't you, was it?
No.
Sounds like someone's upstairs. There's someone upstairs. There's someone upstairs.
I hope so.
Hello? Hello? Where are you at?
Now, it should be noted that this odd event can be explained away as simply water rattling around in the building's old rusty pipes. In fact, if you look closely, this isn't even a water pipe at all. It's actually a piece of old metal electrical conduit that has been cut in half. Nevertheless, it moves and rattles as if shaken by some unknown force. Ricky and his sister are a bit freaked out and worried that they might not be alone in the sanatorium. However, even if there was someone else upstairs, it would be impossible for that person to even reach this metal conduit to make it move. So this creepy capture remains a mystery.
Is that you? Holy f***.
The thing down the hall. A group of friends from Madrid, Spain are hanging out when they suddenly hear strange sounds coming from the bathroom down the hall.
¿Están escuchando? Soy yo. Se están escuchando más de ruidos tú. Yo vine del baño.
No vaya, estás loco, Ah, si lo que quiere que vaya. Sense, don't go over there.
Una polla. Una polla.
No. no,
Ocho,
pon
para.
Pon internet, hermano, ¿qué haces? ¿Estás loco?
Si está escuchando desde hermano.
Escúchame, pon internet ahí.
Hola.
Una polla.
Yo.
Hermano, esto es mucho más rollo,
¿Hay alguien ahí?
No.
Hermano.
Tira, vamos a ver lo que es.
Hermano, no.
Espera, un poco más. Tira. Asoma la cámara. Espérate lo que hay, no hay nada.
Oh, no, that's messed up. Oh, why are their eyes so
The guys
wide
are
open?
hesitant to look inside the bathroom, but when they do, something horrifying can be seen
Dude, that
staring
is
back
so
at them.
disturbing. What is
User
that?
Ain Holval shares the video to TikTok with the caption, "What the hell was in my bathroom?" Now, it's certainly very creepy, but is it real? Or is it all
It doesn't
just
scream
an
horror to
elaborate
me,
TikTok
but
hoax?
That's still creepy.
You decide. Genuine Intrigue. New homeowner and Reddit user Genuine Intrigue has been finding evidence that some kind of animal has been walking around his backyard late at night. Curious to see what kind of animal it might be, he decides to look through the footage recorded by his motion detecting security camera. But what he finds sends a chill down his spine.
Oh, there's something.
During a soft rain, a translucent figure seems to slowly walk through the backyard. Reddit user Genuine Intrigue has no explanation for this bizarre capture. But what do you think this is? Holton Avenue. Popular urban explorer Chris Hill from the YouTube channel Urbex Hill sets out to explore Holton Avenue, an entirely abandoned street in Cleveland, Ohio. Now, it's unknown why the street was left abandoned, other than it sits in an incredibly dangerous neighborhood. Multiple bodies have been found on this street, and each of the deceased met their end under mysterious and horrifying circumstances. So, dragging around his balls of steel, Chris Hill makes it his mission to record and document the abandoned buildings on Holton Avenue before they are demolished.
Yeah, see, I could never do something
In the
like
middle of the
this.
night, Chris
I've
begins
always
his
wanted to,
exploration at the abandoned First Hungarian Baptist Church. He soon realizes that he might have made a huge mistake.
I would never do it. Way too dangerous. Because I would not want to be caught lacking by a homeless dude.
I could have swore I heard something. I think that's an animal.
Oh, there's that unopened pack of coffee filters.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
what a waste. I could have grabbed that.
That was upstairs. Oh,
As Chris is exploring the basement, he hears strange noises, but can't identify the source. Then a door above him on the ground floor just slams shut. Chris quickly makes his way upstairs to investigate, and what happens next is downright creepy.
That would just be gone. I would not be investigating right now. Yeah, maybe it's one of those doors that like close on their own.
Chris finds nothing and no one to explain why the door slammed shut. But when reviewing his footage at home, he realizes that he captured more than he thought. A 4K static camera that he placed inside the church's chapel reveals that something seems to move towards the door just before it slams shut. Another static camera shows something pale and translucent moving around the pews while Chris is in the room. But that's not all that Chris captured that night, because after a thorough walkthrough of the church, Chris decides to check out one of the abandoned houses on Holton Avenue. It did not go well.
This is sketchy. This cannot be safe.
God bless your soul.
Hope I don't find a body down here. It actually looks like it's just underneath the house. It's not really a basement. Still creepy.
I'm telling you, you about to get cooked. It's over for you. See, that's a whole ass person. I told you, that's why.
Sorry.
You never catch me doing some dumb shit like this.
While checking out the house's basement, Chris hears movement on the floor above him. Freaked out by the sound, he quickly starts making his way out of there.
Good.
But there's someone inside with him, peeking out from behind a curtain.
Oh, and he got a weapon
The
too. That
man
looks
seems
like
to
a
be
baseball
living
bat.
in the abandoned home.
Yo.
Chris knows the horrifying stories of the people who met a tragic end on Holton Avenue, so he quickly just gets out of the house. And with that, Chris has had about enough. He decides to just head home. Now, for obvious reasons, I advise everyone watching this to just stay away from Holton Avenue. But if you want to see more of Chris's explorations, you can find them all on his YouTube channel, Urbex Hill. Freefall. TikTok user Jalen Rich is hanging out with a friend on the boardwalk in Santa Cruz, California a little after closing time. Something happens that freaks them both out.
Okay, but the boardwalk closed like half an hour ago. This is scary. Where the Okay, I'm really bad at this. No one's on there.
Oh.
Is there?
I was about to
Okay, I
he's just
totally
chilling.
saw someone with their camera.
Nah, he's calling.
Someone appears to be seated on the Santa Cruz Boardwalk freefall ride, even though the ride is supposed to be closed. But then, whoever or whatever it is seems to disappear into thin air. Jalen explains that both she and her friend saw someone sitting on the ride and have no idea how to explain what happened.
Don't say that.
Now, the Santa Cruz Boardwalk opened in 1907 and has seen at least 3 confirmed fatal accidents over the last 116 years. One rumor even states that a park visitor tragically broke their neck on this very ride. So could it be that Jalen captured the spirit of someone who never made it out of the park? You decide. Followed home. TikTok user Francisco Javier claims that strange things have been happening at his home in Spain after exploring an abandoned farm he came across one day in the middle of nowhere. He says that the farm is a place of intense paranormal activity.
Vale. Que no sé, tío. Está por aquí.
Now this is a daytime.
Hola. Escúchenlo. Ahora sí me lo hizo detrás de mí. Ahora sí me lo hizo detrás de mí.
Francisco is recording at the farm when a door slams shut right behind him. After his days exploring the farm, he believes that something might have followed him home.
Empiezo a grabar porque estoy escuchando sonidos desde el baño muy raros y estoy solo en casa. Dentro del baño.
Sounds like knocking.
¿Qué cojones? No puede ser.
See, there's something behind that. That's why I don't ever have my curtains.
Francisco believes that he might be dealing with multiple entities as he begins to hear taunting voices, laughing, and even the sound of intense crying in the night.
Soy un niño.
The chilling sound of a baby crying sends Francisco off to search his entire apartment, but he finds nothing to explain the sound. Another night and things escalate to another level when Francisco's Amazon Alexa begins to behave very strangely and absolutely terrifying.
Alexa me da un susto de muerte.
Escucha. Mira, se acaba de conectar. ¡Qué susto!
Francisco says that his Alexa is disconnected, yet it calls out in Spanish, "Go to the window. I want to see you."
Mira, se acaba de conectar. ¡Qué susto!
And that's not the only time that this happens.
Coño.
Oh no, that's a whole other person.
A female voice coming from the Alexa laughs out loud but then stops as soon as Francisco comes around the corner. Then an entirely different, lower and creepier voice calls out, "Hola."
It's like they're communicating.
Francisco has had enough, but he has no idea how to stop the terrifying activity. He tries to continue living his life as if nothing has happened. But then one night when he's hanging out just watching TV, this happens.
Escuche, acabo de empezar a escuchar a tocar desde esa puerta. ¿Están tocando desde ahí? ¿O es cosa mía? Míralo, míralo. ¿Hola? No puede ser. ¿Qué coño es eso? ¿Qué coño es eso, tío? ¿Qué coño es eso? ¿Qué cojones? Hay una luz aquí encendida también. ¿Era eso, loco? ¿Qué coño era eso? No hay nada, tío. Uf. ¡Qué puto susto, loco!
Francisco is startled by knocking coming from his hallway door. When he stands up to check it out, he spots what appears to be a small child looking in through the window.
Okay, so
Shocked by what he's seeing, he quickly opens the door only to find no one there. Whoever or whatever this is has disappeared. So did something follow Francisco home from the abandoned farm that he explored? Could it even be multiple spirits? And if you were in his shoes, just what would you do?
Move.
¡Qué susto!
Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss a video. You can also follow me on the socials and say, hey there, what's up, buddy?
What's happening? Wait.
Oh, I didn't
Wait, stop. Harry.
Sure, this one's an hour long. An hour 50. Or an hour 16, my bad.
Toy Story.
We were messing around with my little sister's camera, and we just found something, like...
It's weird.
It's weird. Okay.
It's a normal Tuesday in October, around 6 p.m., when a young girl takes out her camera to record her new toy collection and talk about her day. What happens next is downright chilling.
Hey guys, today I'm going to show you my Skibidi Toilet collection that I just got today. We went to a toy store and they had all of these things like this cameraman, these tiny little action figures, this big Skibidi toilet, and these ones. And then I saw my friend the other day and we went on a walk. And we also got ice cream that day, and I'm having a lot of fun.
The little girl looks up and seems frozen in fear as she stares at something that we can't see. She stares motionless for over 20 seconds and then gets up and hurries out of the room. The camera continues to record and captures something that seems to follow her. Later, the little girl's older sister, Charity Lewis, is looking through the camera's footage and finds this strange recording completely by accident. Charity shares the clip on Instagram and says that before viewing this video, she had no idea that her little sister had experienced anything strange. To this day, the recording remains a mystery.
It's so weird.
Up on the housetop, an urban explorer checks out a group of small abandoned buildings in the middle of nowhere, deep in the woods of Poland. Eventually, it gets too dark to explore, and he decides to leave. But hanging around till after dark seems to have been a terrible mistake.
Oh, that's a whole person. Nah, that's a whole person. You gotta go. You gotta go. Oh, now you gotta go. You are not running fast enough.
Someone can be seen chasing the now panicking urban explorer, and whoever it is seems to have come from right off the goddamn roof. The urban explorer runs off into the woods to escape, but whoever this strange person is now seems to be following him.
Nah, stop. Just run. Just keep going. That is so creepy. Do you think shining your light at him is gonna do anything? That's just telling him, like, I'm right here. Hi. Jesus. And then also, you're just... Nah, you're not running fast enough. You gotta go. You just gotta go. Literally run and do not look back.
Thankfully, the urban explorer makes it home safe and shares his footage on YouTube.
Luckily, he made it home
curious viewer
safe.
points out just how pale the unknown stranger seems to be. Another viewer claims that they too have visited the abandoned buildings and that they also saw this same creepy man. Either way, this strange guy swooping down from the roof to chase the urban explorer away is truly
Like a
creepy,
Batman wannabe.
and it seems like something right out of a horror movie.
And then he was basically right there behind him.
Cave Crisis.
Jesus, if you're
Alex
running for your
Cantrell
life
from the
and that's
YouTube
all you
channel
got,
Underground Explorers
I feel
is
bad for
invited to explore a cave on his friend's ranch in Texas. But the cave is partially submerged in water, making it very difficult to enter and explore. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that this video is not exactly anything paranormal, but it is very scary and 100% real. It's especially scary if you're even the slightest bit claustrophobic. Now, in accordance with YouTube guidelines, I want to stress, no one was seriously injured in this video. The following footage was recorded by a professional cave diver. Do not attempt to do this yourself. Alright, so Alex is joined by a few of his friends as they begin to explore the frightfully small cave.
Alright, who's got the oxygen meter? I don't see that. Look at this. We got an oxygen meter now? So people won't be mad at me? So what all does that show? Carbon monoxide?
Carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, hydrogen sulfide, and low oxygen.
Cool.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So
We got the Action Adventure twins here helping us out. Because you guys were like, Matt, check the oxygen. Oh, danger levels,
breathe
huh?
on it a little bit.
Danger, danger.
Danger.
It's waterproof?
It is, but I don't think
better
it's
be.
gonna work too
I don't
well
like that
if, like, the little intakes
Yeah,
get
that
clogged
makes
with
sense.
water.
It's gonna be hard to keep that thing out of the water.
Alright guys, we have made it out to the cave that's on the demolition ranch. Or off the ranch.
Wait, is it beeping already?
Well, see, I immediately dunked it underwater.
I told you.
So, you know, I don't think this is gonna give us the accurate
Probably
read.
not our
Or the entire cave has bad air.
It might.
Get into it.
Oh, that's not what I would not.
Already an introvert. A lot further. We're not even close.
As they work their way deeper and deeper into the cave, the passageway becomes smaller
have, like,
and
a
more
rope to track your
claustrophobic.
way back?
Eventually, there is barely even room to breathe above the murky water. This is when the exploration goes horribly wrong.
This is where we're at right now. Yeah, this is intense. I love that they're saying this is intense. Yeah. That makes me feel good, because I was scared in here, and I'm like, what if these things just come in and they're like, oh, this is a piece of cake, let's climb it. Yeah. No, this is a little rough. Yeah. I feel the rope on my foot. So much water in my ears. Yeah, same. Oh man. Water in my eyes. Snorkel would be nice right about now. Yeah. Good times. Good times.
I would be freezing, and then I would probably die.
Is he under? Oh hell no, I'm not doing that. I can just barely hear right here. So loud. This is the waiting area.
So cooked.
Are you going, Jacob? Oh, he just bailed.
Oh, that's so bad.
Alex's friend and fellow cave explorer Jacob is a little further ahead in a part of the cave that is so submerged that there's barely room to breathe. As he ducks under the murky water, Jacob becomes confused and panics, breathing in a mouthful of the dirty water. In a terrified frenzy, he tries to back out of the cave as fast as he can, but he slams into Alex, dragging him underwater too. Luckily, the two guys make it out safely, with only a few scratches to remind them of the terrifying incident. This video once again goes to show that sometimes people, even your own friends, can be much scarier and more dangerous than anything paranormal. And I don't know about you, but just watching them in that cramped little tunnel gave me the heebie-jeebies. Now, you can watch this entire exciting cave exploration and many more over on the YouTube channel, Underground Explorers. Knock knock. Late one night, a group of friends decide to film themselves taking a spooky dare at a local school that is said to be haunted. The story goes that if you go around to the back of the school and knock on the nurse's office door, someone or something will knock back.
It would most definitely be the nurse. You know, wondering why you are there.
Go! Just knock on it, knock. No, go. Knock harder. Let him know. Let him.
Oh shit.
A sudden loud scream sends the girls running in terror.
Let him.
Now, unfortunately, the original creator of this video has basically disappeared off the internet. So for now, whatever happened next remains a mystery. The thing in the tunnel. Nuke's Top 5 viewer Sophie reached out to us about a very creepy video that her friend Laura recorded in an abandoned railway tunnel in Hassel, Germany. The tunnel was built in 1890 and it was used extensively by German troops during World War II. So, while on a weekend trip, Laura checks out the historic old abandoned rail tunnel. She's recording with her phone when she captures what is maybe one of the weirdest clips I've ever seen. Check it out.
Okay.
Something pale and thin can be seen rising up from the tracks in front of Laura on what looks like a thin little arm. As for Laura, she gets one look at the disturbing thing and just turns and makes a run for it.
It looks like, I would say.
Now, watching this clip over and over, I honestly have no idea what this is. It looks like maybe a hairless torso with two skinny arms, getting up in a very unnatural way.
Either.
Maybe it's an animal, maybe it's a very weird looking person. I just don't know.
Person. Okay, that's crazy.
So you tell me what you think this is down in the comments. Open house. Reddit user / realtor Sandra is recording a tour of a 1960s bungalow-style home to show prospective buyers. Sandra's filming at night in order to showcase the house's interior lighting. But it's starting to get a bit late at the creepy little cottage, and things are about to get weird.
Wow, it's 10 p.m. and my day was fully booked with showings of this beautiful vintage 1962. Wow, it's 10 p.m. and my day was fully booked with showings of this vintage 1963 bungalow.
Bad sign, I would have gone. You should be terrified right now.
Go ahead, do it again.
Do it again? You antagonizing it?
You're on camera. Open this door. Go ahead, open this door. Open this door like you did the other one. Come on, just move the glass or something.
Just kind of like chuck it off the like, what is that? That's a fireplace. I would stop telling it to do stuff like.
Go ahead, do it again.
Stop,
Not scared.
Stop saying that. Don't say that. You look awfully scared now. He was talking that talk.
A door suddenly swings open on its own and Sandra is spooked. But she gathers her courage and rushes out to see what's going on. A glass of water sitting on top of the fireplace shifts and slowly moves as if it's being pushed by some invisible force. But things get even crazier as a smoke detector suddenly starts to beep before crashing violently to the floor. With that, Sandra has had enough and just gets out of there. But there's also something else that is very creepy in this video. Something that only a few viewers even notice. So again I ask, did you see it? Right before the door moves, a face in the picture right beside Sandra seems to slowly darken. And then the creepy little shadow fades away just as the door swings open. Sandra says that she's experienced several unexplained paranormal events in this home, but this was the first time that she finally captured it on camera. Ride of a lifetime. Gustavo Alcaraz from Mazatlan, Mexico is celebrating his 10th birthday with his family in a small amusement park. After gathering his courage, the young boy goes on a roller coaster for the very first time. A total of 8 people get on the roller coaster, all Gustavo's family. His proud mother sits in the front and records a video of Gustavo's first roller coaster ride. But her camera catches something that Gustavo and his family simply can't explain. Something truly chilling.
Dani. Sí, son 5 o 6 vueltas.
Oh, that's a whole person.
Abajo no, abajo, en la parte de abajo no.
That's weird. Nah, that's a whole person. Some like... That's gotta be a ghost, like, cause there's no other way they could have gotten on. It was empty at the beginning and then now it... Oh yeah, that's cooked.
Otra. Y fue el señor que se... Así es el fuego aquí. ¿Cuál?
Oh, it's gone now, like... It was gonna pop back up. Nope.
You see, none of Gustavo's family got in the last cart on the roller coaster, and it's empty for most of the ride. But during the second lap, someone or something seems to appear out of thin air. The figure is hardly noticeable at first, but then it seems to transform into a solid person, seemingly wearing all black and sitting all alone. Now, the roller coaster has not stopped a single time to allow for a person to get on or off. So just who or what is this? Now, what makes this capture even creepier is that years ago, 2 people lost their lives on a larger roller coaster that stood on the same land. After the tragic accident, that roller coaster was condemned and dismantled. It was replaced by this smaller, safer, family-friendly ride. So could this be the spirit of one of the victims of the older roller coaster accident? Are they doomed to loop this track over and over? Let me know what you think. Hanako-san. A group of friends at a high school in Japan hear crying coming from the restroom during their lunch break. Now in Japan, there is a famous legend of a girl named Hanako-san. This young girl's spirit is said to haunt restrooms in schools across Japan. The group moves in, all of them a bit hesitant to investigate the source of the creepy sound. Needless to say, it did not go well.
Oh, no, that's messed up.
The girls are just about to leave until they suddenly hear a loud bang and go back for a look. The horrifying, distorted face of a young girl can be seen inside one of the restroom stalls.
Oh, that's
the
so...
group runs in fear, and the video cuts. Now, unfortunately, there's no source to be found for this video. It appeared on the internet as mysteriously as the Japanese legend. So did the girls capture evidence of Hanako-san? Or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. Scary videos. Jason Barber from Salisbury, North Carolina comes home from work and he gets the unexpected scare of a lifetime.
that's a whole snake. That's crazy. Where'd that come from?
A big angry snake is hiding around the edges of Jason's front door and lunges out in an attempt to bite him. Luckily for Jason, the bite was a miss and the snake is actually a non-poisonous black rat snake. But something to be learned from this. If you walk up and your cat is just staring at the door and meowing for no reason, maybe take a closer look before you just head in.
Yeah. That cat is literally telling him, like, hey, please don't touch that door.
In another clip, a man and woman have a similar scary encounter.
What is going on?
The couple pulls out an old step stool and is shocked to find a large snake hiding under a box right in front of it. They make a run for it with their puppy following close behind. But the puppy is not gonna let the snake have his toy. So he just runs back in and yoinks it away. Snake or not, nothing is getting his favorite toy.
That's some dumb dog activity.
While you are sleeping. It's 3 in the morning in Erie, Pennsylvania, and Jorge Cruz and his family are all fast asleep in bed. Suddenly, their bedroom door slams shut. Now, Jorge is woken up by the sound, but doesn't think much of it and goes back to sleep. But the next day, he begins to wonder what could have caused the door to slam. He checks their baby monitor footage, and what he finds makes his blood run cold.
Okay. Sounds like it's right next to the camera. Oh no. Was about to rob the baby?
Loud banging can be heard before the bedroom door slams shut. Then a dark shadow-like figure can be seen creeping up the bottom of the baby's crib, seemingly watching the child sleep. The dark mass seems to reach over toward the child, even moving around a stuffed animal. Then it simply disappears into thin air. Jorge says that he feels the entity might be a dark presence in his home. So did the family capture a paranormal entity on camera? Let me know what you think. Apartment tour gone wrong. A realtor from Ladson, South Carolina is giving a tour of a brand new luxury apartment to an interested couple. Then it goes terribly wrong.
It helps sometimes. So this is the pool. Yeah, that would help me actually. Yeah. Is that closet?
That's washer dryer hookups.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, sorry I kicked you.
Oh.
Like, there's a person in there. There's a person in there?
The woman touring the apartment heads alone into the back bedroom and checks out the closet. But surprise, because there's just some weird dude hiding in there. Understandably, she kind of freaks out and runs out of the room and warns the others.
So weird.
The realtor is shocked And after checking out the bedroom herself, she just says, okay, we're gonna go.
There's a person in there. There's a person in here? Hello?
No, about that casual hello. Like,
now, it bears repeating that these are brand new luxury apartments in a guarded community, so it seems odd that a squatter could even get in there. But what would you do if you were touring an apartment and a guy just popped out of the closet?
I'd be terrified.
Hidden away in the countryside of Chillicothe, Ohio, is the Schrader Road Tunnel. Built underneath a set of railroad tracks in 1927, the old road tunnel is said to be extremely haunted. The story goes that long ago a woman was carrying her baby while walking along the train tracks late at night. The two were hit by an oncoming train. It is said that her ghost and the ghost of her baby haunt the Schrader Road Tunnel. Many people who have traveled through the tunnel report that they have seen the ghostly figure of a woman holding her baby. Others report hearing odd, unexplained wails and moans. Because of this, locals started referring to the Schrader Tunnel by a very different and much creepier name, the Crybaby Tunnel. So, Levi Woodruff is intrigued by the spooky stories and sets out to explore the Crybaby Tunnel late one night. As you might imagine, it did not go well.
So I've been down in here in a place called Crybaby's Tunnel. It's a place, it's local around my area, and they say she got hit on the tracks with her baby, or her body was dumped right there in the creek down here. There's something dead right there. Bro, there's something dead right there. A dead deer. It's a dead deer. I've been out here forever trying to get stuff done. This place is spooky. Is anybody out there?
I would not scream that. Why would you do that? You're like calling for something to come out at you. Yep, run. Just turn around and run.
Hello?
Stop.
Right. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell no.
You got it.
In the pitch black darkness of the tunnel with nothing but a flashlight, Levi suddenly hears the disturbing cries of a baby. Familiar with the spooky stories about the tunnel, Levi makes a run for it. So could these cries belong to the spirit of the baby that tragically passed away at the creepy old railroad tunnel? And is the ghost of the baby's mother also inside, just waiting for someone to come in?
Hell no. Hell no.
In a flash,
Man, that makes so clear through that bitch. Girl, you are that bitch. That's your ass. Hey, man, what you do?
sometimes a very silly moment turns scary in an instant. Two guys are just goofing around, but then, like a bolt out of the blue, fun time is over.
Oh, do some pranks on people, boy. Pick it up.
A sudden, very close lightning strike rips through the clouds and scares the living out of them, sending them running inside in terror.
Pick it up.
That's crazy.
Antoine's Restaurant. Isabel Riley recently told a very creepy story online and followed it up with one of the creepiest pictures you'll ever see.
I need to
to tell you guys about the most insane evidence that I have ever seen of a ghost existing. Backstory. I was at a company get-together with my CEOs, my coworkers, and one of the owners of the company. We've all looked at us and was like, hey, do you guys want to see a ghost picture? Immediately, yes. He begins to tell us that he was in New Orleans at a restaurant called Antoine's. New Orleans, first of all, super haunted city. If you know, you know. And Antoine's is one of the oldest restaurants in the city, one of the oldest restaurants, I believe, in America. It has a lot of history. It used to be a jail. It is a really well-established place, has been around forever. So he's dining at this restaurant and he is offered a tour of the wine cellar. The wine cellar is huge, has thousands of bottles of wine, probably worth millions of dollars. So he's taking a tour of the wine cellar, he's taking pictures. There's this guy in the wine cellar on a laptop who is apparently at auction buying more rare wine for the collection. My CEO takes pictures of this guy on his laptop, doesn't think anything of it, he doesn't see anything, leaves the restaurant, calls it a day. The next morning, he's looking through the photos and notices something. So this is the first picture that he showed me from the wine cellar. You can see this guy who is on his laptop at auction doing whatever. And here is the next picture that he took. So we all see that. That is a full body apparition. It looks like a woman in this like black Victorian dress. And when I was showed this, I genuinely had full body chills.
So just who could the creepy alleged ghost woman dressed all in black in the photo be? For that, we go into the history of the restaurant. Antoine Alciatore opened his restaurant all the way back in 1840. Then in 1875, Antoine passed away when he was only 55 years old. When he died, he left his wife Julie in charge of the restaurant. So could this be Julie's spirit still looking over the restaurant from beyond the grave? Well, let me know what you think. Before we move on to the next video, if you see anything that you think should be included in the top 5, contact us at nukestop5@gmail.com. This next video was recorded by a man named Javier from Argentina. Javier says that he was worried about his friend Antonio, as he hadn't heard from him in a while. So he drives over to Antonio's house to check up on his friend. Javier bangs on the front door. No one answers. He calls out Antonio's name. Again, no answer. So Javier climbs over the wall into Antonio's backyard and goes to the back door of the house. For some reason, the door is open. Fearing the worst, Javier goes inside to investigate. What happens next is downright chilling.
Antonio! Antonio!
Oh, it's like broken off its hinge.
Hey!
Oh, this is terrifying.
Antonio, soy yo. Javier.
Okay.
Puta madre. Hey. Hey, loco. Soy Javier, boludo.
That's way too close. I would be.
Che, loco, ¿sos vos? Ya fue, boludo. Vine a ver qué onda, ¿cómo andás? ¿Estás bien? Che, loco, si sos vos, salí. ¿Escuchan eso?
Javier doesn't know what is going on, and he doesn't want any part of it. He decides to just leave the house and call the police. But just as he's about to exit, he hears a strange sound from somewhere behind him. The next 30 seconds are like something right out of a nightmare.
Just get out. Just leave. Just leave. No. No.
Did you see it?
Oh,
a door swings open by itself, and someone or something with glowing eyes seems to peek over the upper glass of the door, 7 feet in the air. Javier has had about enough and just makes a run for it.
Goes by
He says that whoever or whatever this was,
that's not it.
certainly was not his friend Antonio. After calling the police over to the residence, Javier learns that his friend has tragically passed away inside the house, just behind that door that he couldn't open. Javier is so upset and confused by the whole ordeal that he just can't let it go. He decides to return to Antonio's house in search of answers.
Why?
It did not go well.
Dude, I wouldn't go back.
Mierda. La laucha. Da un poco de escalofrío estar acá, se siente una carga un poco pesada, qué sé yo. Mierda.
You're so dead. You're just.
¿Qué pasó?
You're cooked.
Mierda.
Why is there just a black?
¡Hey! ¿Quién anda ahí?
Why is there just a black dot? That square.
Mierda.
I would open that curtain so fast. Watch me peeking out from above it.
¡Hola! ¿Qué mierda anda ahí, la concha de su madre?
Oh yeah, he's scared. I really Don't stop following it. Dude, I am honestly terrified. This is scaring me.
And with that, Javier is done. He leaves the house, and to this day, he claims that he has no explanation for what happened inside. There's something in the basement. Nuke's Top 5 viewer Oliver reached out to me about a video he captured in his home in Twin Falls, Idaho. In his email, Oliver says that he recorded a video for his friends with plans to hold a sleepover that same night. In his video, he shows his basement and where he and his friends will be sleeping. But what happens next is literally like something from a nightmare.
That's a whole man in a top hat.
the hell?
As Oliver looks inside the bedroom, he sees a tall, dark figure standing inside the room.
It's such a strong
Startled by the creepy
too.
apparition, Oliver stumbles back before turning on the lights and taking another look. But whatever was standing there seems to have just disappeared. What makes this footage even creepier is that when slowed down, it becomes clear that whoever or whatever this is seems to be wearing a hat. So if you don't know, across the world, countless people have reported seeing a being known as the, quote, Hat Man. Although some claim to have seen the apparition while fully awake, the Hat Man is known to terrorize victims of sleep paralysis. I asked Oliver if he had ever experienced sleep paralysis in his life, and he explained that he actually did, but only when he was a child. So could Oliver have actually captured proof of the Hat Man's existence? Let me know what you think. Hell or high water?
Please be high water. Please.
Back in August 2021, an unexpected flash flood swept through downtown Omaha, Nebraska. At around 10 p.m., Tony Liu and his two friends are relaxing in his apartment and watching the weather reports about the flood. They decide to take the elevator down to have a look at the flooded city streets for themselves. It was a very bad idea.
Let me see your best moose impression.
Oh, that's bad.
Okay, can you please just... Okay, thank you. Shoot. Hold.
Tony and his friends didn't realize, but the lower levels of the apartment building were completely flooded with disgusting sewer water. As the elevator reaches the lobby, water pours inside, causing the elevator to malfunction and trap them inside with the rising water.
Once it got towards kind of my neck, chest, that's when I kind of, I could possibly die in here.
The water continues to flood in, filling the elevator to the point that the three friends can barely keep their head above water. Tony is panicked and makes an emergency phone call to his roommate, Dalen Stapp, and the roommate hurries downstairs to try to help his trapped friends.
I told them, hey, I'm gonna die in here if you guys don't come and try to do something.
We went down into about shoulder deep water and just tried pulling it apart with everything because we had to get them out or it could have been fatal.
Tony's roommate Dalen finally manages to pry open the flooded elevator doors to free his friends from what could have been their watery grave. Luckily, they all escape and swim to safety without so much as a scratch. Not surprisingly, Tony Liu says that this was the scariest thing that has ever happened to him.
How scary was this? Honestly, I would say this is number one, the most scariest thing in my life. Yep. Hands down.
Okay, can you please just... Okay, thank you.
See, I can't swim.
Factory
so this
worker
would be
Kama Kaylee recently moved from his home country of Greenland to live and work in Denmark. But little did he know that the apartment he moved into had a horribly dark past. 7 years ago, a 49-year-old man was brutally attacked and lost his life right outside the apartment's front door. After Kama moves in, he begins to notice his things moving and falling to the floor for no reason. He hears the creepy sound of someone knocking on his door, and doors inside the apartment slam shut for no reason. One afternoon, Kama hears strange sounds coming from somewhere inside his apartment. He pulls out his phone and starts to record as he tries to find the source of the odd noises. But then, this happens. Kama gets a good jump scare as a door slams shut right in front of him. And, it seems to literally scare a fart right out of him. But now, this is where the fun ends and things start to get really dark. Because another day, not long after sunset, the eerie activity in the apartment starts up once again. Now, Kama is a bit scared, but once again, he takes out his phone to try to record proof of the creepy activity in his apartment. What happens next is truly creepy. A cupboard door opens by itself and Kama's helmet slides across the floor. Later that night, Kama decides to live stream from his apartment. He says that he's having trouble sleeping because he keeps hearing things moving and falling to the floor over in the next room. What happens next, live on camera, is downright chilling.
I would have been gone long before that was. Oh, nah, they looking at you too. That's messed up.
Caught live on stream, Kama hears the sounds of his belongings falling to the floor in the other room. But when he goes to investigate, the drawers of a small cupboard slide open on their own. Kama has had enough and runs down the stairs and out of the building. But when he looks up at his apartment window, he is shocked to see someone or something standing inside his apartment, seemingly looking right down at him.
I wouldn't go back
So
up
with
there. I'd
everything
call
that
the
has
cops to go get my
happened,
stuff.
could Kama's apartment actually be haunted by the restless ghost of the man whose life was taken there? Let me know what you think. Just a quick side note, but Greenlandic is only spoken by around 57,000 people in the entire world. So a huge thank you to Nuke's Top 5 viewer Wilhelm for translating The Midnight Whisper. Red Easer Mike is up around midnight after his family have all went to bed. He suddenly smells a strange odor coming from the living room, and he suspects that one of the family pets might have urinated on the floor. But as Mike begins searching for the telltale puddle, something scares the absolute out of him.
How do I smell pee?
Dog is
A small childlike voice seems to whisper, "Mike," from somewhere nearby. Mike just books it up the stairs, leaving his dog and his concerned little kitten in the background to wonder what the hell just happened. Now, Mike says that he lives in an old 1850s house near the coast of Herring Cove, Canada, that has a slight bit of dark history, but he says that he's never experienced anything remotely paranormal before this night. In fact, Mike has never even made a single post about anything supernatural until this strange incident that literally sent him running. Followed home. Back in 2015, Candace Gardner and her husband attended a Halloween party at an abandoned and allegedly haunted prison with a dark history. It was a huge mistake. Candace says that the entire night at the party she felt like something was watching her. And ever since that night, strange things have been happening in Candace's home. She now believes that a malicious entity might have followed her home from the old prison, a dark spirit that intends to harm her and her family. Soon after the prison trip, Candace begins to experience unexplained activity in her home. Lights flicker on and off at night while Candace and her husband sleep. Doors in the house open and close on their own. But scariest of all, the spirit begins to aggressively throw objects at Candace.
the fuck?
And these frightening incidents continue to escalate, as it seems that the entity wants to seriously hurt Candace.
Oh, that's a whole knife.
While Candace is sleeping, she starts to wake up to painful, violent attacks, as if some unseen force is roughly grabbing or pulling at her. And she says she caught proof. So late one night, Candace and her husband fall asleep while watching TV on the couch. As the couple sleeps, a CCTV camera in the room captures something absolutely horrifying.
That's crazy.
Lily, help me! Help me! Something grabbed my leg! Lily! Ah! God!
Candace's leg appears to get grabbed and twisted painfully into the air by an invisible force. She wakes up in a panic and screams for her husband to help her, but all he can do is grab her leg and pull it back. Eventually, he manages to free Candace's legs from whatever is pulling on it, but poor Candace is left sobbing in pain and fear. Now, I have to say that after watching this footage and hearing Candace's desperate pleas for help, this video is very compelling. But do you believe that a dark entity followed Candace home from the prison and is now violently haunting her home?
I mean, maybe.
Let me know what you think. As for Candace, She says that her family still experiences terrifying paranormal events to this day. Heads up, popular Chinese ghost hunter Xiaolong is back, this time investigating an abandoned school in China that is said to be extremely haunted. As his live stream audience watches, Xiaolong begins to hear unexplained noises from somewhere in the building. He's a little on edge as he goes to check out the strange sounds. What happens next is... just watch.
听见没？开回音呢。
Am I looking at? Oh, that's a whole head. What? Oh, that's messed up. That's such a valid reaction.
Xiaolong gets the fright of his life because of a plastic statue head. But luckily, Xiaolong delivers a good old-fashioned slap upside the head to put that statue back in line. But things are about to get a bit more serious and a bit more frightening. As Xiaolong explores deeper into the haunted school, this happens.
Sounds so dumb, but maybe it was the wind. That's fucked up.
我叫你玩儿，操你妈！我叫你玩儿。
Yeah, don't. It was playing with its ball. I don't feel bad for you.
A small ball inside a classroom rolls across the floor by itself, so Xiaolong chucks it out a window. But then the lights hanging from the ceiling come crashing down, almost hitting Xiaolong. Now luckily the ghost hunter made it out safe, but he's not done just yet. Inside one of the school's many rooms, he finds a dirty old mirror. And this is when his exploration takes a terrifying turn.
Okay. Oh yeah, I was supposed to be like, it's hard to make out, but yeah, I can see that.
我他妈是看错了我操你妈！我操你妈！好像是在这嘎达。
Why does he keep saying that?
我去你妈逼！我操！
Stop looking in the mirror.
我操！
Okay, this is just sad now. Just spazzing out. It's like the 5th time he has said that. Oh, you scared it off. No, you're like in danger, but you need to go.
In the mirror's reflection, someone can be seen standing behind Xiaolong, but when he swings around in terror, there's no one there. After an attempt at kicking and flailing at the invisible entity, Xiaolong finds that the reflection of the figure has disappeared. But now he spots a shadowy face peeking in from a window, and the heavy closet comes crashing down right in front of him. The activity is becoming a little too intense, so Xiaolong decides to leave and ends his live stream. You can see even more terrifying moments from this ghost hunt over on the YouTube channel, Outdoor Xiaolong. It comes out in the wash. Popular Saudi Arabian explorer Jassim is back on another exploration to find and capture evidence of the paranormal. This time Jassim investigates a long-abandoned apartment complex. Eerily enough, he finds evidence that a child once lived here.
صورة أطفال. Scooby-Doo, where are you?
For unknown reasons, old black and white photos of a young girl have been taped to the wall in one of the many abandoned rooms. Now these seem completely out of place in the old decrepit building.
I agree.
Then, nearby, Jassim finds a creepy drawing of the popular children's cartoon, Scooby-Doo.
Not even creepy.
And this is when things start to get really weird, because Jassim starts to hear strange, unexplained sounds.
في حد؟ Hello? Anyone here? في أحد?
The explorer hears the sounds of someone or something moving around inside the building, seemingly close by. Jassim eventually finds a small courtyard, and what happens next is absolutely terrifying.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. بسم الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بكلمات الله.
As Jassim walks by old towels hung on a clothesline, he sees the terrifying pale face of a child with pitch black eyes peeking back at him. Terrified, Jassim jumps back, but whoever or whatever it was has disappeared. So could this be the ghost of a child? Perhaps even the little girl from the photos he found earlier. Could this be the sinister entity of a jinn appearing as a child? Or is this just really good effects and a very elaborate hoax? I leave it up to you to decide. Hiding under the bed. In another creepy video shared to TikTok without a source, a man is woken up in the middle of the night by a strange thumping sound coming from under his bed. What happens next is absolutely horrifying.
Like right under him? That's too small for somebody to be under there. Oh! Oh, what the fuck?
The man looks under his bed but sees nothing that could explain the mysterious thumping. But then a horrific thing comes sliding out from under his bed, and the video cuts. Now, I'm in no way claiming that this video is real, but it is definitely very creepy. And real or not, I'll leave that for you to decide. Unstable. This next strange video was recorded by a CCTV camera in a horse stable, but the location of the stable and the original source of the footage are unknown. The video shows a horse in its stall, relaxed and peaceful. But around 2:39 a.m., there's an odd dark flash across the CCTV camera, and then all hell breaks loose.
Up with that horse?
Something unknown disturbs the horse so much that it panics and actually breaks right through its stall. But that's not all, because as the horse roams loose in the stable, what happens next is truly bizarre.
Why is this horse bugging so bad? What is... Clearly, it's scared of that other one.
The horse lingers at a different stall, disturbing one of the other horses as it kicks and makes panic noises. The horse then seems to angrily attempt to leap over into the other stall with that horse. The stable owner says that this incident is one of the weirdest things he's ever experienced with one of his horses. Now, this video was shared to TikTok, and comments mention that the culprit might be Jen, as apparently it is said that Jens will often torment horses. And there was also that odd dark flicker in the camera footage. So, paranormal or not. Really, without a source, we'll never know what happened here. And maybe this horse just randomly lost its damn mind.
Maybe.
The passenger. Taxi driver Jarek from Baguio, Philippines is working the night shift when he spots a woman on the side of the road who needs a lift. What happens next is something he'll never forget.
Saan po kayo, ma'am? Scott Barrio? Sige pa.
Dude, you're clearly going insane, but I also did witness that door open and close.
Diyos ko po. Wala. Multa tayo nasakay ko ah. Ay, Wala. Wala. Multo yung nasakay ko. Diyos ko. May sumakay kanina. May sumakay kanina. May sumakay kanina pero bakit nawala? Scout Barrio sabi. May sumakay kanina, wala.
He keeps looking back like he's gonna crash.
We can see the taxi door open and close, and Jarek swears a woman wearing a long white and purple dress stepped into his taxi, requesting to be taken to Scout Barrio, a neighborhood in the city. After a short drive, he looks into his rearview mirror to discover that there's no woman in his car. She has disappeared. He's baffled and looks around the back seat in startled disbelief.
And he just
Jarek says he was tired and never got a good look at the woman's face, but he's certain a woman got in his car. So could it be that Jarek gave a taxi ride to a spirit? Or just what do you think was happening here?
That was a whole hour. Jesus. Alright. I think good night. You know what, actually? Oh, fuck it, why not? We can... This one's like 30 minutes. It's not 3 o'clock in the morning. Jesus. Oh, that's... There you go.
The Florida Phantom. Late one night around 3 a.m., a family in Florida is alarmed when the Ring video camera detects movement in their backyard. When they check the footage, things take a very creepy turn.
Sasquatch. That's so fake. That's so unbelievably fake.
The hammock in their backyard flips over as what looks to be an eerie smoke-like figure seems to fly right through it.
I don't believe
Now,
that
normally
for
I would try to take a closer look at this and find some simple explanation for a capture like this. Smoke, mist, a bug on the lens, and so on. But this strange figure seems to hold its shape and appears to have a face, torso, and 2 outstretched arms as it floats along and out of sight. Even creepier, it then seems to return and can be seen moving in the other direction further down in the backyard. Now, if it was the wind and just smoke or mist, then surely it would have changed form as it moved or dissipated completely. And also the hammock moving as the figure passes through it is just weird. So is it real, or is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. Don't look up.
I don't believe that.
Japanese paranormal investigator Takeuchi from the YouTube channel Takeuchi Camera sets out to investigate a long-abandoned house that at one time was flooded and partially submerged. He has no idea what happened to the owners of the house or why it was left abandoned. So, Takeuchi immediately finds it extremely odd that there are no stairs leading up to the house's attic. He brings in a ladder so that he can investigate the inaccessible upper floor. Takeuchi climbs the ladder with his camera and takes a peek into the attic. What happens next is truly terrifying.
足音聞こえんだけど大丈夫？ OK ちょっと一回カメラ置こう。よいしょ。痛い。オッケー。すごい怒りっぽい。うわ、なんでしょう。うわ。
Takeuchi's camera captures two extremely pale, childlike feet standing on the upper attic floor. But as the investigator climbs up, he doesn't appear to see anything with his own naked eye. And when he pans the camera back around, the creepy little feet have disappeared. While looking through the attic, the light on his camera suddenly turns off.
この屋根裏部屋にね、その、なんて言うんですか。あ、え？あ？ちょっと待って。は？ちょっと待って。ライト消えた。え？これ始まってる？難しい。ライト消えてる。なんで？ライト。あ、ついた。何やったん今の。
Weird, but
どういうこと？また消えた。は？マジ？ちょ待って。ちょっと待って。ちょっともう一回試してみようか。マジ？ちょっともう一回オンにしてみます。全然あかんわ。ちょっと帰ろう。
With an unreliable light, Takeuchi decides to just end his investigation right then. But did you see it? After sitting in the darkness for a bit, Takeuchi's light comes back on for about 2 seconds. And those same pale, unexplained legs can be seen again, this time moving quickly out of sight. The investigator had no idea what he had captured until he reviewed his footage later at home. So did Takeuchi capture the spirit of whoever used to live in the creepy abandoned house? Could the previous owners have met a tragic fate during a dangerous flood? Let me know what you think. You can watch this entire terrifying investigation over on the YouTube channel Takeuchi Camera. The Night Visitors. This next video is a bit of a mystery as there is no source. The only info I found is that the footage was allegedly captured by a residential security camera somewhere in Vietnam. So, a woman hears strange sounds coming from outside her home. She goes to check out the odd noises, and this is when things start to get really weird. A small figure about the height of a toddler can be seen running off into the shadows, but another small figure can be spotted just outside the gate. Whatever it is seems to throw some kind of dust or sand over the fence at the confused and horrified woman. Now, it's unknown what is thrown, and without a source, it's impossible to know just what the hell is going on here. But viewers of the video believe that the woman had an encounter with some kind of small creatures, or possibly even spirits. But what do you think? Let me know. We need scary videos. So if you see anything that you think would be perfect for the top 5, send it to us at nukestop5@gmail.com. Ghosts of Carmel, Maine. Over the last 5 years, Kent Burris has made it his mission to document and record everything abnormal that happens in his home, the Lamb House in Carmel, Maine. Kent says that his house is haunted by multiple spirits who regularly make themselves known through banging, bizarre EVPs, and often even manifesting as visible apparitions.
Whoa, what the f was that?
Now, I've featured Ghosts of Carmel, Maine on Nuke's Top 5 many times through the years, so if you're a regular viewer, the channel should seem familiar. So, one afternoon after Kent has just come home from work, his grandson starts to complain that there are strange noises coming from upstairs. Just in case, Kent grabs his camera as he goes to investigate. What happens next is absolutely unnerving. As Kent is about to step inside the upstairs bedroom, a dark figure leaps out toward him, and then the bedroom door just slams shut on its own. Kent believes that it was his wife who slammed the door, possibly because she was getting dressed and didn't want to be on camera. He goes back downstairs where his grandson tells him that his wife isn't in that bedroom at all, but in a completely different room.
No, I thought that was you up in the bedroom. Sorry.
Kent confirms that his wife isn't in the bedroom, and then he goes back upstairs to find an explanation for the door slamming in his face. Did you see it? What appears to be the same dark shadow figure can be seen inside the bedroom as Kent pans around the room. But when Kent flips the light on, there's nobody there. So did Kent capture even more paranormal evidence in his home? I leave that up to you to decide. You can watch all of Kent's captures and recordings over on his YouTube channel, Ghosts of Carmel, Maine. Creeper. Adrian Montenegro and his family are spending some fun family time together on the Cerro de la Silla mountain in the city of Monterrey, Mexico. But then something very weird happens.
Oh, nah, that's creepy.
No bajé los pies.
The family didn't see or hear anything at the time, and they have no idea who or what this mysterious figure is or what the person was doing. Whoever or whatever it is appears to be watching the family, being careful about maneuvering around in the dark so as not to be seen. So the question is this a paranormal event caught on camera? Or worse, is it a person? A person creepily watching the family from the edge of the darkness? You decide. Passing through. This next video was sent in by Nuke's Top 5 viewer Shahar from Israel. Shahar says in her email that one night she and her friends were hanging out in the woods near her house, just having fun and filming some random videos. Then something very odd happens that they still can't explain to this day.
די, די. עד עכשיו השמצת אותי, כן? נמאס לי. בוא תגיד להם את האמת מאחורי הוולוגים.
חברים, אני לא משועד.
תגיד את האמת בלי לשקר.
אני באמת נהנה, באמת, שלא תבינו, רק אל תרביצי לי, סתם לא. אני באמת נהנה. אני באמת נהנה.
אימא'לה. יואו, מישהו רק שם.
The three friends are completely unaware as a strange translucent white figure seems to float right by them. Then Shahar's friend spots a dark shadowy figure off to the right. They all look and they see what they describe as, quote, a black shadow running off into the woods. Shahar explains that the white figure caught on camera earlier was moving in the same direction where they spotted the black shadow a moment later. When they play back the footage, the group is pretty freaked out. They cut the camera and just head home. School's out. Popular urban explorer Chris from the YouTube channel Urbex Hill sets out to explore the old Robert Fulton Elementary School in Cleveland, Ohio. The school was built back in 1929, and after a decline in student enrollments, it eventually closed in 2011. In the dark of night, Chris finds a way inside the old school. He plans to capture on video the remains of what used to be a stunning historic interior. But almost immediately, Chris starts to find signs that he might not be alone inside the abandoned school.
Homeless people been here.
As Chris continues to explore the massive building, he definitely starts to suspect that there might be someone else inside.
Look at this. This will make a good thumbnail.
Chris finds a door that seems to have been blocked off with no way to enter. So the explorer finds a way around it by entering through the classroom next door. And this is when things take a terrifying turn.
Their sign that says keep out. This screams like
yeah, somebody's been. Look at that. Somebody's been living in here.
Oh, look at you're like invading upon the space. Oh, now is he chasing you? Dog, you gotta go.
Chris gets a little too close to someone that seems to be hiding in one of the rooms inside the school. Chris makes a run for it, and luckily the stranger doesn't seem to follow. But that's not all that happened during Chris's exploration, because not long after he entered the abandoned building, he captured something on camera that he didn't even see at the time.
Wow. I didn't see it.
Did you see it?
No.
All the way in the back of the hallway, someone can be seen walking into one of the classrooms. After watching the footage back, Chris now wonders if he was being watched and followed by some creeper the entire time that he was inside the school. And once again, this is why I always say real people are way scarier than anything paranormal. You can watch this entire exploration and many more over on the YouTube channel, Urbex Hill. The Unwanted Roommate. TikTok user username Who0 moved into a new apartment in Poland, but soon after he got settled in, he says that he began to experience strange poltergeist activity. These are a few of the scarier encounters that he was able to capture. So, one night Who0 is startled from his sleep.
Hej, tak chyba od pół godziny cały czas mi coś nawala w drzwi.
Who0 goes to check a violent pounding at the door, but there's no one there. His bedroom door slams shut behind him, and when he opens the door again, a chair that had been sitting all the way behind the door frame violently slides across the floor right in front of him. Cut to another night, and Who0 is once again not getting any rest in his haunted apartment.
Hej, ogólnie to od jakiegoś czasu cały czas coś, właśnie takie dziwne hałasy. Ja pierdolę, co to? Jak? Co to?
Definitely blame that on like faulty lights or some shit.
A bottle in the hallway smashes to the ground, the lights flash, and when Who0 goes to check, the bathroom faucet is just running on its own. Even creepier, the light in the hall mysteriously seems to just keep turning off, and the bathroom door slowly creaks open by itself. At this point, Who0 has started to get fed up with the strange paranormal activity in his apartment. But it's about to get even worse. Who0 decides to just lock his door and try to ignore the noises in his hallway, watching a movie on his laptop. But whatever is in the apartment does not seem to like it at all.
Hej!
The doorknob to the room can actually be seen moving, but when Who0 ignores the knocking, the pounding on the wood becomes violent. And now it's a little later the same night, and the pounding on the door comes back yet again. Who0 has had enough. He decides to charge out into the hallway to confront whatever is there. It did not go well.
Kurwa, znowu. What the f? Whoa!
breaks loose and Who Zero runs back to his bedroom to escape. But his recording cuts short just as his own bedroom door slams shut right in his face, now locking him out. Since these videos were recorded, username Who Zero has deleted his TikTok account. Rumors around the internet maintain that the activity in his apartment only got worse, and he just decided to move out. It is claimed that Who Zero deleted his TikTok page because he believed that the negative energy from the videos might follow him to his new home. But everything's on the internet forever. Again, that is all just rumor.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna cut it here. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I'm gonna cut it short. I'm gonna end the stream now. Thank y'all for coming out and watching. We'll be back up tomorrow. Good night.